Hey guys, welcome to my channel, A Guiding Light. My name is Candice. Today we're doing a general reading, so take what fits, leave the rest. Check out my description area for any further information about the channel, my email address, any Patreon information, although it may or may not be up. I'm almost done putting it together, so if it's not, it'll be up soon. And I'll put it in there. Check out my further videos. I'm also going to do a video when it's up. For donation information, that information's in there because people ask me about that. But also a way of giving back is liking, sharing, subscribing. Any little like YouTube thing, giving like kudos, or honestly, I mean, you guys know what to do. Whether it's just as a giving back for thanks or for my time and energy, or if this video has really helped you. Anything else, just look in that area below. But let's get started on the reading. This, honestly, I did a video recently where it's kind of like staying out of your emotions and staying out of your mind because they could be manipulated and used against you. I don't know if this is a further clarification, this reading on that, on how to do that in a way where it's still healthy for you, or if this is somebody who's kind of gotten to that point or maybe got that lesson from that video and it's a little tidbit as they're on that journey to, helping them in a positive way. As in your recent past, this is the Seven of Cups. This person really seems to have like an energy of, what is the word I'm thinking of? Like learning how to have mastered something, like mastered their emotions. Maybe even in a, I don't want to say manipulative in a bad way, because to manipulate something is something we do every day. It's not necessarily bad. It's just, what are your intentions? And, are you honest? And, blah, blah, blah. But they've learned how to control, we'll say control their emotions and maybe even use them in a way that is somewhat beneficial to them. But at the very least, control them, manipulate them. But again, if you look, in this one, like they're not like in their emotions, they're outside of it and they're kind of just manipulating and controlling it. The current energy, the present energy is the Knight of Pentacles. And so what's crossing it, which is more of like a hindrance energy, is this card, which is the Seven of Wands, where she's kind of like built something to stay out of her emotions, right? Like she's trying to get somewhere and do something, achieve something, but by completely, again, staying out of the emotions. Same as this is not like in the emotions, it's out of the emotions. So you're trying to like build something, do something, find something. It's some certain way you are creating moving forward, either in some tried and true path or just whatever plan you've built out. It doesn't matter whether you've made this map or you're following someone else's map. It is whatever. That's not the main point of this reading, but you are trying to stay out of emotions as you're doing it, which on one hand is good, especially right now, so they're not, being too much or taking you down or controlling you. Your likely future is the Chariot. This is about like integration, right? Like being on the same page, able to move forward. The bridge that gets you from the present energy to the future energy or likely future energy, nothing is for sure. These are likely paths and based off patterns and stuff. It can be changed, is the Five of Swords. This is actually a card saying this is what can help you. It's what can help you get from where you are now, which isn't a horrible spot. It's just a piece of advice because it may not get you where you're going or not as great without the piece of information I'm about to tell you. In this card, since this is the bridge that gets you to your likely future. If you look, like this person in this water, it's a different type of Five of Swords, is the same person who's standing right here. They're in the water. They're not submerged in the water. They're not drowning in the water, but they're in it. They're in it, right? And the Five of Swords is a mental card. It's for strategy and planning and, logically looking at something. So, like, what I really get from this is being able to still be in your emotions, tap into your emotions, not ignore, alienate, or villainize your emotions, but also to still logically use them, like have a mind and heart balance, right? Like mental and emotional energy, to not be controlled by them, to not believe everything that you feel in it, to know logically that not to let them overtake you, not to believe everything they say, but to know they're just emotions. They're not all of you. They're a part of you. Some would even argue not even you, really depending on how you want to look at that and how deep you want to go. Like, they are something there, though, that can either be false or could be like a tool to help you. What's really coming up for this too, which is what I'm supposed to help you realize, is they can be used as a portal, as a gateway. And that's why you don't want to completely alienate them or villainize them or not to ever be able to go into and tap into them, because you are also doing yourself a disservice by not knowing how to go there sometimes when you need to, or to navigate those waters, okay? Like your emotions. You do need to learn how to navigate it. That's why, like, this message, mostly this channel, is for people. It doesn't have to be it can be a message for anybody, but it is for people who are a little bit more ascended along the journey, right? Like, they have done some of the shadow work. They have done some of the inner child. They have done that where they've sat in their emotions and learned about them and blah, blah, blah. But they're getting ready to go into like a new phase. So you should have, this is why this guy is somewhat of a master of this, right? Because there is an evolution to this. Somebody has been sitting there learning enough to learn how to not be controlled by their emotions. So they're not in the beginning of the journey. This is for my other channel, which I'll get started going back to soon. I started it previously, but that's more for like a beginning journey, like pieces of advice or things that people don't realize, or the start of the awakening, or to help an awakening. This is not. This is more of an ascended kind of channel, like an ascended journey. This person has mastered these things. So it's more of a mind-heart balance and learning how to use that as a portal, because you can use them for pleasure. They could be used for creativity, and they could bring in your blessings. Okay? I mean, I don't know which one, but it's kind of like pleasure should be first. I don't have yet how this is going to show on your end, but pleasure should be first, and then creativity. It can lead to this way, finding pleasure in the emotions. Also, you can use them for the spark and the creativity. That's also beneficial in your emotions, and that leads to blessings. Why does it lead to blessings? Because your emotions are a gateway or a portal to your intuition, to more of your feminine energy, right? A lot of what you're doing is trying to bypass your emotions, which, yes, is kind of good. And I said that, but I want to explain a little bit further because I didn't have the time to in that video. But you don't want to go full on action, full on, yes, it's balanced, but, this is all very much a masculine energy. Both of these are taking action, strategy, planning, thinking. They're very masculine. You don't want to go all masculine, though. Like, you don't want to go from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum, but you're still out of balance. You know what I mean? Because this, even though it's action, it's an integration of light and dark, masculine and feminine. Both sides of you going forward, because that oomph and that spark and that energy is your feminine side, the structure and how you're doing it and the planning and the action and the thinking and all that is the masculine. It's the structure to the energy. So it's kind of like same as the matrix, like the energy behind it is all the feminine. The matrix itself, it is the masculine. That's why it's viewed as very patriarchal. You know, there wasn't a balance in it, but the structure is always masculine. It's like a hose, like a water hose. The water is the feminine energy, and the hose on the outside is the masculine. It's the structure to the energy, to the flow. It allows it to be and to do things, to become 3D. Otherwise, you just have a bunch of all over the place or nothingness, like avoid. So it's kind of just trying to help you realize there is a benefit and a positive way you can view things. Like you can look at it by cutting out, how can they view this in a positive way as well, to not villainize or just cut out the emotions. And it's to cut out, this fox, it's all distorted, his image. To not believe what it always tells you. Because when you do that, that's what makes things kind of ill. It's like short-term illness. It's what makes you kind of sick and not feel good. It muddies the waters, right? Which is what you have sitting here, muddy waters. And how you could view them in more of a beneficial way, if I can get these off of the desk, is you can use them for playful energy, joy. You can use them to kind of relax and stay out of taking action, right? And you can use them to relax and sit in with your intuition, that resting, going within energy. And that's where I kind of really got kind of the portal idea. I mean, these kind of help play, relaxing, not having to take action, because this guy's working really hard. See? Mountains, it's a bunch of work. No work. And just relaxing and sitting in with the intuition, with all these little things around you, and you're sitting in with yourself. There is a part of you that you're going to be cutting off and not being able to tap into, and doing yourself a disservice while you're going on this journey if you don't kind of slightly tweak what I'm saying right now. Because A, you're going to become imbalanced in the other way. B, you're going to not be integrated. That's not what you want to do. And C, you're going to miss out on a huge part of yourself, which is where all that magic and that spark and that, creativity and spirituality and intuition and that just inner voice speaks from. It's a large part of where you come from, a large part of where your intuition and your source comes from. Okay? It's not just here and it's not just mental. It will try its best to do what it can with what you're doing, but you don't want to completely manipulate or totally avoid or villainize your emotions by trying to stay out of it to get going forward, to make things happen, because sometimes it could bring you down. Everything's in balance. Sometimes you're going to need to go into them and learn how to navigate those waters. You should have a little bit under your belt by now, but learn how to navigate them in a way to extract and utilize them and feel and be and embrace that part of yourself that is there. It's there to have unconditional love for, to take what you need, leave the rest that strategically, okay, this is not true, this is not false, don't believe everything you see and hear. But so you have to learn yourself to know how to do that, right? To know what's yours, what isn't, blah, blah, blah. And to also get through that, almost like going into a cave through a waterfall or something. It'd be cool if I had one of those here. But to get to the other side of that is like that portal or that window to your intuition, to source, to your creativity, to the other unseen part that is all of you, and that is of peace and hope and faith and love and excitement and joy. And it's the portal to all the magical and the joyful and faithful and all those other parts of you that are not just the physical and taking action. Okay? So make sure you're balancing that and keeping an eye on that. I love you. Thank you for walking this journey with me. Leave a comment below if you need more explanation of this in another video. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.